This drone, DJI would never make. And it's not because the quality on this drone is subpar compared to a drone from DJI. There are certain design decisions that this drone company has made that DJI would never make. So in today's video, I want to show you why this drone is my personal recommendation for new flyers, and why this drone has been my actual first choice for going and taking this a lot of places compared to some of the other drones that I own, like the DJI Mini 3 Pro or my Mavic 3. Why is this drone something that DJI would never make, even though it looks just like a Mini 2? And to answer your question, it's because it doesn't have a gimbal. You may hear that and say, well, wow, that sounds like it's really, really bad. It sounds like it must suck when it comes to video. And it does have limitations for sure, but also it includes a lot of software that kind of compensates for that rather well. The video that comes out of here is 4K 30 FPS, just like a Mini 2. And the stuff that comes out of here is very usable. This also has a cheaper price tag than, say, for a DJI Mini 2. And I think that that results in having something that is maybe a little bit more comfortable flying. Compared to a lot of the drones that you can get, a Mini 2 is something I want to say is pretty adequate all around for beginners to start flying with. It has a gimbal, it's pretty versatile. While it doesn't have any obstacle avoidance sensors, I'd say it's pretty solid. This is very similar in that regard, that it is something that is in perspective rather cheap. It's not itself rather cheap. $400 is a lot of money. This, I believe, is $200 to $300, which then comes in about $100 cheaper than what DJI would make. And the batteries in here are all what you'd expect. Actually, over DJI, one of the main design decisions that will start off right with the bat, they actually include each battery to have a USB-C port on the back, which means that you can charge each of these individually and directly. This features all the kind of same stuff that you would find on the Mini 2. You got an optical flow sensor on the bottom, infrared lights, same battery detection, buttons. Everything is very similar to what DJI makes, and also the camera itself, while it's not a gimbal, is also stabilized with rubber gaskets. On top of that, there are some image stabilization algorithms that make the video coming out of this very usable. Now, of course, in anything that's high wind, while yes, this drone is rated for rather high wind, you may notice rather quickly that you will start seeing a tilted screen, and you will start experiencing the effects of not having a gimbal. But keep in mind the trade-off is, and why DJI would never make this drone, you have a cheaper product that sacrifices the gimbal to maintain image quality. So something like the Mini 2 that would have 4K video would then be brought to a cheaper price tag by sacrificing the gimbal with some inbuilt software. The video that comes out of here is rather usable in low wind situations, and I actually personally like that a lot. The pictures that come out of here are 12 megapixel, and in terms of a camera, the specs on here are pretty much identical to what you would get out of the DJI Mini 2. Lacking the gimbal, of course, but also $100 some cheaper. The one thing that I will say this drone struggles with out of all of my testing of having this for almost 2 months now is the low light quality. The quality when it's low light, given the sensor size, given the restrictions in that, the low light quality on here is very unusable. I actually took this to like the 4th of July, wanted to, catch it flying around some fireworks, and it just really, really couldn't handle it. Same goes a lot for the pictures, but I will argue that the pictures are a little bit better, but still, you're obviously restricted from a small sensor size. You throw in the long exposure times of dark shots, and you may start experiencing some really unusable stuff, but that is just for the low light. The video and picture quality during the day is actually really awesome. You'll find very quickly that while yes, this is not anything compared to a high-end drone, it is very similar to a lot of the video that you may get from something at a similar price range. In terms of like a sub $300 drone, this is going to be a substantial step up in terms of image quality than like a Mini SE or even the Mini 2 SE, because of the fact that those drones are limited to 2.7K instead of the 4K 30 that you will see here. For flight times, you're looking at about 30 minutes, which is pretty much on par to what you'll experience with a DJI Mini drone, and at least for the Mini 2 below. The Mini 3 obviously has that 45-minute timeline, but then again, you're talking about a substantial step up in terms of price. The camera stabilization on here is actually really solid. However, you have to fly with a certain kind of difference than you would with, say, a mini drone. You obviously will start experiencing the screen tilt with the drone moving, as the onboard image stabilization software can only compensate so much. This boasts about a 2-mile range, 4 kilometers, And I really didn't experience much issues with that. However, you will notice, as usual, when you fly a drone maybe to a cell tower or something that may interfere with that, you'll start getting some visual artifacting. I never really had issues with the connection dropping, but I did notice in certain circumstances, maybe about a mile away, that I did experience some issues with, having some signal drop and especially signal loss. However, again, this was not anything crazy. I also did experience an issue with one of the controllers that I received. However, I was able to get that resolved and they did send me another controller. I would recommend, again, if you have some weird issue that you experience, reach out to a company to kind of get some stuff resolved. I had a weird issue where it kept flying up and then the controller stick would kind of get stuck. It was only on one of the controllers. I received 2 drones from them and I only had that on one of them. A weird situation. It was resolved, but it did end up having to be resolved by getting another controller. In terms of physical quality of this drone, this is on par, if not slightly better than what you would experience with a DJI Mini drone, just because of the fact that while yes, this is 250 grams, the trade-off, they're not as good at cutting stuff out of the drone. As in, like, this is a lot more structurally sound and robust than, say, for a mini drone, where it feels, I want to say, like you can press it a little bit more. It's a lot thinner in terms of, like on a Mini at 3, for example, there is a lot more press or a lot more give, whereas this is built with, I want to say, a little bit thicker plastic. While it definitely still gives, it's a lot thicker, and you can notice that that's probably where the extra weight went. So since they had the option to not have a gimbal, which that's lost weight, they can basically put that elsewhere, and it makes it pretty solid and robust. The user interface you're going to find is pretty much similar to anything you'd get out of a DJI drone. The controller directly hooks up to your phone, and also the antennas actually have antennas in them, unlike a lot of other cheap drones that you may experience, is they just choose to put like plastic up there thinking it magically makes you feel better. You have sticks that detach. You actually fit your phone between the controllers here, like such. And actually, I prefer this a lot. I have the large phone, the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and that actually fits in there really nicely. So again, this is really solid if you wanted to actually use this controller. And actually, I prefer this controller compared to the N1 from DJI as well, just because of how nice this is. It makes it so much more of a usable situation, because then you have both the sticks and the phones in the dead center instead of looking kind of wonky on top. The tracking is done via GPS and not done via some type of optical algorithm. You may experience that is really bad, but also keep in mind that, like, for example, the Mini 2 doesn't have that. So it's making the distinction of adding some tracking, and if you move slow enough or in a predictable manner, you definitely could expect to see something that's at least somewhat usable. So why do I think that this drone is worthy of a beginner? Well, the main reason is the whole kit, at least the kit that I have here, is about $300. It's $100 less than what DJI is currently offering for the Mini 2, as well as the Mini SE or Mini 2 SE also coming out, but with that substantial drop down in terms of resolution. This is something that, while being cheaper, I want to say I feel a little bit more comfortable with crashing or losing. Say, example, something that's a lot more expensive. In the trade-off of not having that gimbal while present in windy circumstances is definitely off-weighed by the fact that you are now having something that's cheaper, and for that price range, I want to say the footage is still very usable. Also, for a beginner, I find that having the ability to discern how the drone is flying, and if something that you're doing is putting a lot of stress on it, or you're doing something that's very sporadic, it helps train you in a way that kind of prevents you from making these jarring movements that when you move up to a higher end drone with a gimbal, you're kind of already stepped up for and prepared for. Also can allow you to get some really cool FPV shots versus like a standard drone that has this fake FPV version where the drone will kind of then, like, you'll turn the drone and then the camera will also turn with it. It creates something that's, I want to say, a little bit more natural in terms of FPV. However, again, the video that comes out of this is very usable. The exception being when you start getting into very windy conditions. And again, most drones will struggle with that, but will be offset by the gimbal. So overall, I like this drone a lot. And it is my recommendation simply because the DJI Mini 2 is actually discontinued technically. Now again, I think that this is a really solid buy for a lot of people, especially if you're starting off, just because of how responsive the drone is and how much information it provides back to the user. So in conclusion, thank you very much for watching. make sure you check out the other drone reviews. So make sure you check out our other drone reviews on a bunch of other different drones. And thank you very much for watching.